It was set up to train people specifically to go out into the nations of the world. You need to understand the significance of that because in 1985, starting a mission school in South Africa was quite a ridiculous idea. At that stage, it was in the midst of the apartheid era, and on a South African passport, you could really travel very few countries in the world. And so starting a mission school, intending to send people out into all these different nations, seemed a rather ridiculous idea. And it's just been wonderful to see over the years how God has turned that around. And as Stuart said, we have graduates serving the Lord in 56 nations across the world. We've got a really exciting community in White River in South Africa where we're training people for missions. There are about 15 nationalities represented in our student body at any one time. Just a small student body. We have about, normally have between 60 and 70 students. But wonderful to see people coming together, passionate about the Lord, and wanting to go out into the world and just share about what Jesus has done in their lives. And what a privilege it is. It's just been such a privilege for me to be a part of Africa School of Missions and sending people out to different nations to make an impact for God's glory. I think one of the things which we felt was very important when we started Africa School of Missions was that we wouldn't simply be a school that was so involved in sending students and graduates out to different nations that we would make no impact in our own community. And so from the outset, we decided that we wanted to be involved in our own community, making a difference in our own community. In the words of Jesus, he says in Matthew chapter 5, "You are the light of the world." And we need to make a difference in the world we're living. Not because we're doing great things. Jesus actually says, people will look at your deeds, and they won't glorify you, they'll glorify your Father in heaven. We're there just to do things for Jesus Christ, so He will get the glory. And so we started getting involved in many different areas. We started a school of health. Many people in the community that we serve in had no access to health facilities at all. And so we would take a mobile clinic and go into different communities and serve the people. A very small team of nurses would go out, sometimes with 2 or 3 nurses. They would see 200 patients a day, just coming in one after the other. And as we were able to help them with their physical needs, we were able to share the love of Jesus with them as well. And saw God do some amazing things. In the one community we worked in Belfast, it took about 5 years, but after 5 years the government recognised what we were doing, and then they also recognised the need for a clinic, and so a clinic was built and established there, and we could move on to another village. We also got involved in different community centres. We started a community centre for the disabled in our community, continually just trying to share the love of Jesus. And then about 10 years ago, we became acutely aware of the HIV/AIDS problem in our area. When we started looking at the percentage in our local area who were HIV positive, it was somewhere in the region of 25 to 33% of that community. And most people were saying 33% of the community were HIV positive. Probably today we would say about 25% of our community are HIV positive. But when you're in a community that big and you look at that great need, the first thing you say is, what difference can we make? What on earth can we do in such a great need? We don't have heaps of resources and finances and all the rest. What are we going to do? And we felt that as we prayed about it, the Lord gave us a very simple answer. Do what you can do. And God never asks us to do any more than that. Just do what you can do. And so with the little resources that we had, what we started doing was just training a handful of volunteers to go out into the community and take care of those who were dying with HIV/AIDS. Many of those people had been totally ostracized by their own family members. Some of them were living in the most appalling condition, and we would just go in and take care of people. If they didn't have water in their home, we'd go fetch water down at the river and take a bucket of water to their home. If they hadn't been bathed in a week or so, we would just bathe them. We would simply do what we could to minister the love of Jesus to them. And over just about a year's period, the project that we were involved in was recognized by our government. And they came in and they said, look, we like what you're doing. We didn't think it was very significant.